Yo, what's good, everyone, man? Welcome to another episode of Times Square Kung Fu. I am your host, Frankie Balboa, aka The Shogun Supreme, man. Y'all know the deal. Y'all know the vibes, man. What's the vibes of today? Oh, this is definitely is a goodie, man, for real. I'm going to be comparing the Eureka Blu-ray release that came out in 2020 of Zoo Warriors of the Magic Mountain versus the Hong Kong Legends DVD and the Joysales DVD. I mean, this is gonna be the first time I've done like a three-way comparison. So yeah, this is definitely an interesting one, man. So you're gonna see a lot of pictures involved, and I'm gonna talk a lot about the audio. I couldn't include the audio on this episode because it was getting blocked everywhere for some reason, man. And I was like, you know what? I put in my Twitter account. So I'm gonna talk about the audio in this video, but I'm gonna link the audio comparisons on the description because I uploaded those on via my Twitter. All right, man. So let's get into it. So there's 1983 film directed by Sue Hark. Went on to influence a bunch of films when it dropped, especially John Carpenter's, Big Trouble in Little China, which is a fun film. And Ed Boon, John Tobias, man, they got rating from that movie, you know what I mean? And this film, Zoo Warriors, won Best Picture, Best Action Choreography done by Corey Yoon, Best Actress, Bridget Lin, and Special Effects. Now, what's interesting about this film is it came out in '83, the same year as Return of the Jedi, which most likely, let's forget most likely, it had a higher budget than this film. Way higher budget. But here's the funny connection with both of these films. The special effects for the special effects tools for Zoo Warrior was actually provided by Robert Black and his team. And anybody knows who Robert Black is. I'm probably saying his last name wrong. It's one of the founders of Industrial Light and Magic. So imagine having the Star Wars tools, the effects tools being used on a Hong Kong martial arts, supernatural, freaking semi-horror, freaking action film. You're gonna get some insanity, man. And one thing like this film did very well is the different type of abilities the characters have in this film. Mind you, this film has a whole bunch of freaking known actors: Dick Wei, Young Bao, Sammo Hung, Bridget Lin, Moon Lee, and all these individuals have their own abilities. And wow, they did one heck of a job, man. Especially like one of my favorite moves in this film, like it's a small scene where you got Homeboy calling his sword back, doing some crazy pose, man. Turns into a fans, and when he calls it back, you see like 100 swords coming in, man. I was like, that is swaggy as hell. Then he fly away with his homies. That is swaggy as freaking hell. But now you see some crazy stuff here, man. And you know what I'm talking. I'm going to be showing a clip right now. I'm going to be showing a long fight. Because you're going to see in this very sequence that I'm showing right now, when they're getting busy, my man is going to freaking grab a giant freaking pillar. And it's going to be full of freaking fire. Like huge. Imagine seeing this in the 80s. You're like, how are they doing this? And while the scene is playing, I want you guys to pay attention to the outfits. The outfits are freaking so unique. They stand out and they look so freaking amazing, man. And one thing I love about this film is the villains, the way they look, the way they talk, and their moves and abilities, man. Like I mentioned, this film has a diverse type of freaking enemies and cast. From vampires, demons, ghouls, and there's the blood devil. These guys got to get a freaking two-handed weapon, dual sword, to freaking defeat this individual, man. So the whole thing even sounds like a freaking video game, you know what I mean? But, yeah, man, so I was super excited when this Blu-ray was announced. And you guys people what I said, I was super excited. So I didn't end up buying it, I started collecting a little bit after that again. I started rebuilding my collection. But one of my friends got it, and when I saw the Blu-ray, I was like, wow, this looks sharp. I was hyped. But I love the clarity and everything about it. But once I got the Hong Kong Legends DVD and then the Joysales one, I'm like, and I'm gonna show you guys like what I mean by that in a few. And again, like I mentioned, I'm gonna speak on the audio. I couldn't, use the audio for this video because it was getting blocked. So I had audio being blocked. I try to do everything I can with Star Wars, but that is not happening. So I say, screw that. Just get straight to the point and give you guys a general idea how this film looks and how the action flows, man. Because that's what's important, man. To get you guys hyped and excited. So yeah, man. With that said, man, let's get busy. Let me show you guys these pictures and you see what I mean. You know what I mean? All right, catch you guys in a second. Peace. All right, now that you guys saw those pictures, man, I'm gonna go straight to it, man. It's all about the Hong Kong Legends and the Joysales DVD, man. My personal favorite is the Joysales one overall. The colors, the contrast, and it's keeping the original intent of the directors at the time and the cinematographer. Because remember, a lot of these films use that day and night technique when they shoot at to convey night scenes, you know what I mean? So they kept that blue tint going on, and also you see that color scheme be represented not only in the Eureka Blu-ray cover, but also in the Hong Kong Legends DVD and also in the Joysales one. There's a recurring theme in this, in this film, and you even see it conveying in the cover, like I mentioned, But also the makeup. There's a picture where, if you notice in the pictures where it shows the actors' faces, you actually see the black makeup actually stand out more than you see in the Blu-ray. And on top of that, for some weird reason, the Blu-ray looks like it looks washed out. It looks like when you play a very dark scene on an old LCD TV, you know what I mean? Or like a computer monitor that has a VA panel. It looks very washed out, man. Like, I don't know, it just looks very flat, man, and things just stand out too much, man. Like, it actually really looks fake. And I think they would have got away with it if they added like film grain on it, but I don't know what they were doing with its color grading. Eureka usually very, very good at this, but they're hit and miss with some of the releases. But yeah, like I just love the Hong Kong Legends, which is easier to get. The Joysales one is difficult to find, but to people that want to buy this film, I highly recommend getting the Hong Kong Legends DVD. It's cheap and it's easier to find. Mind you, this is a Region 2 disc, so will not play on your US Blu-ray players or gaming consoles. You know what I mean? And the Joysales one is Region 3. So yeah, these things ain't playing, and and the Blu-ray is Region B. So if you have an American player, this is not happening. So the purpose of this video and the point of my channel, like I mentioned, a lot, is for you distributor to pick it up. Hopefully Arrow picks it up, and I wouldn't be surprised if Arrow picks it up because they've been working very closely with Eureka, and they regrade this film, man, because this film needs that blue look, that contrast. It needs that look. And also, like, I couldn't show it in the pictures, but the wires, some people don't have issues with this because you see it like in a lot of current films done from that time, but in this one, for some reason, it's super visible and you don't see it in the Hong Kong Legends disc as much, or the Joysales one. That's probably has to do because of the low resolution, if anything, but it just stands out way too much here. And again, did they use film grain? I think it would have made it less distracting to me, you know what I mean? But again, this is subjective. If you find the way the Blu-ray looks, because again, it looks very sharp, and it's still going to be an exciting film to enjoy. But for me, the way the mood of this film is, being a fantasy film with all these type of enemies, and the way the characters are in this film, for me, the best way to view this is with the Hong Kong Legends DVD or the Joysales one, because again, there's a theme and tone they're going, because having that look actually it makes it feel immersive, like okay, you are looking at a fantasy film, while the Eureka one looks like it's in post-production to me. You know what I mean? Like it's not done, like adding certain effects and stuff, you know what I mean, or certain details here and there. So with that said, man, I want to talk about the audio right after this. All right, peace. But yeah, man, again, that was a lot of pictures to put together, man. Before I get into the audio, that was a lot of pictures, man. But, it was worth it. And again, man, yeah, but talk about that picture with the red, man, with Homeboy with the hair like this, looking, like the vampire-looking dude, man. Psst. Beautiful, man. Beautiful, beautiful. On that Eureka one looked so washed out. I don't know what was going on. But anyway, enough of that. The audio. Okay. I think I have to do a whole video on audio soon, because I'm not too satisfied with the way the audio is being, transferred in a lot of these Blu-rays, and I mean a lot of them. It is way too sharp. I know they're using the original track here and there, but you could actually fix that. Like come on. And here's why. So I posted 2 examples on my Twitter account, and again, the link is going to be in the description, where I posted the DTX mix of the music versus the original mix. And the DTX mix is remaster audio. And again, the problem with the remaster audio is they remaster the music, but also they go insane and they add new effects that was not in the original film, and it could be distracting. It wasn't too distracting, this film, but again, they go overboard with this. It's a known issue. But for me, is the music. The music sounds way more detailed and balanced compared to what is on this Blu-ray. Again, that's the original. They didn't touch it. They left it alone. That's cool, no? But they could improve on that. And they improved that sound, the way that music was mixed on the DTS track. And this is not only for Zoo Warriors. You saw with The Killer. You saw with freaking what was the film that I remember I noticed it? Yeah, with Tiger Cage, which I spoke about it in the forums, and I'm gonna post those examples for them as well to be aware of it. But a lot of older films, when we started hitting the 2000s for DVDs, they started adding DTS thing, DTS track, and everybody, that was just the rave back then, man. You know what I mean? When you choose DTS track, man, you see the little piano logo before the movie starts, and it was just marvelous, man. But yeah, I hope going forward they add more of the low end, more like a little bit more bass to this music. Because the thing is, it's way too sharp, and I gotta put the volume down, man, because it gets to the point where it almost sounds distorted and it's killing the other instruments. Like, you don't hear it. It's way too sharp, and it's just like not for me, man. Especially when you guys hear the DTS track, it's very balanced, it's smooth. You could hear everything. And in the sample that I put on my Twitter account, you actually could hear the wind chimes, man. Those little things that you used to put in the doors, like the long little metal things that goes tiling, tiling, tiling. That was a horrible impression by me, but you get the idea. Those things, you get to hear each detail of it. And in the original track, especially the one that Eureka uses, it sounds like a mess. And you barely hear the bass guitar they're using, man. Especially in the scene that I posted, the DTS track actually adds more to the scene. The way the bass is writing it, you know what I mean? Writing that track. While in the original one, you could barely hear it. The dialogue is drowning it out. While the DTS one, the dialogue is a little, muffled, but it's not Nolan muffled. It's not that bad. You can still understand what they're saying. So I wanted them to improve on the audio mix, man, because these audio mixes are way too sharp, and it's like it's almost painful to me. You know what I mean? But with that said, man, I'm about to wrap this bad boy up, man. All right, man. Peace. So, yup, man. There you guys have it, man. Again, it was fun putting this video together. It was a lot of stuff I had to take out and put in, and because I was using Star Wars and Superman, but I'm like, there's no point, man. Those fights are slow paced and everything. They were doing their own thing at the time. I mean, you need to understand that Chinese cinema has a longer tradition when it comes to like action scenes, just action in general, man, going back to the opera days compared to what you see in the West or know about the West, But yeah, this film, hopefully Region 8 distributor will pick it up for North American release. And, more people get to experience this film. But right now, if you want to go, get this film, look for it. I highly recommend the Hong Kong Legends one. It's cheaper, it looks good, upscales, anamorphic, so it's gonna take up your whole TV screen, and it has great special features. It has a great audio commentary track, and if you guys are into that. But if you want sharper image, the clarity and all that, nothing wrong getting the Blu-ray. Again, I'm not a big fan of the Blu-ray. I'm disappointed in the Blu-ray. But if it doesn't bother you and you found the film to be exciting, you never saw the film or haven't seen it in a while, again, get the Blu-ray, man. You know what I mean? I think it's going for like $20 American dollars, or you can find it cheaper at times. But it's a great film. It's a must-own. I have to say that. It's a must-own, man. It's one of those gems, man, But with that said, man, like, share, subscribe, man, and you already know, man. Until the next one, peace.